Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, March 10th, and I'm just having a little 10-minute video today on where we're supposed to be and what's expected of you next week with the assignment. I put an a video recording of this week's readings, which is American Imperialism, from a previous class. And it is relevant in the fact that you have to understand what's going on abroad to understand the domestic implications, how that changed labor, all these certain things. It was largely indicated by what was going on overseas and in our foreign policy. So that was the purpose of having that chapter, and that's Howard Zinn. I use Howard Zinn in my other class. All right. So this is the Howard Zinn book, A People's History of the United States. Really good book. One of my favorites of all time. So we're using that this week. And it's to some extent a super easy week. And, these weeks have been really challenging. And it's kind of, how college goes, to be honest. College is about stepping it up. And it's about reading more challenging material, and then having more challenging writing. So if you're in this class, hopefully that's what you're here for. And that's why you're taking dual enrollment. Again, this is a college credit. These credits transfer to a 4-year university. So I take that very seriously. And so anyway, so what I want to talk today about, I'm going to show you the, the Canvas page. I'm just going to share it with you. So here we are. Hold on a second. Just to keep everyone updated, keep everyone flowing. So we're in the modules at this moment, and we are week. So this is the week we're at now. So I'll put this recording right here. I do it every Wednesday. Chapter 12 is, again, the American imperialism, expansion overseas. But more importantly, the assignment that's due on Friday is this assignment. It's supposed to be fun. And I do this for all my classes. And I want you to interview your parents, grandparents, extended family, and tell me as much about your family as you can, your family lineage. This assignment is meant to be fun. Don't worry if you have a hard time finding your story. What I'm after really is whatever you got. Everyone has a story. It may not be very long. It may just be one generation. Just tell me where your family's history is. And I want to know your ethnicity as well, using fractions. Like, for instance, I am a quarter Native American from this area, 3 different tribes, mostly English, I believe. No, again, this is what your papers are probably going to sound like too. And Scottish, as well as Spanish. So that's my chemical makeup, and fractions are obviously going to be challenging, but it's always nice to know quarters, halves, eighths, all that. You can use a family tree. You don't have to, but family trees are nice. And hopefully you'll have something for your future. That was the main goal of this assignment is, one day your kids, if you have them, we're going to ask you, what are you? And on and on. And the more you get now, the easier it is for future generations. Let's just go ahead to, I want to go ahead to the next weeks. So we are right here on week 6, American imperialism. Then next week, we're going to have a written response, a reading response. And the question, so this is how I wanted to talk about this part in particular. When I give questions out, I'm not after you to answer these questions. I want you to answer in an essay format. So that's an introduction, a body paragraph, and a conclusion. So I want an essay format, and I also want your input. So what do you think about these things? So you can answer a couple of these questions or just one. You can pick as you choose. For instance, why would Mexican Americans support legislation that restricted immigration from Mexico? Very interesting, right? Why would that meaning? Why would the Mexican Americans in this country want to stop more immigrants coming? Why would employers encourage illegal immigration and pressure congressional allies to relax the border? How did organizations like the League of United American Citizens adapt to pressures to assimilate? And also about the migration to Chicago and Detroit. Why did they go there? What is chain migration? The Plan de San Diego, possible origins and plot against America. But my moral of the story is this: is I do not want you to answer these questions. I want you to create an essay out of the book after you read the entire chapter, and using these questions as a guide. Like, these are the main things I felt were important. But you can also write about something completely different as well in the chapter. And whatever you take on, just make sure it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, as well as quotes from the book. Cite your resources. Put Vargas, comma 284 in brackets, something like that. So you're citing your sources. And again, as I mentioned last time, if you're going to take stuff out of the book, you have to cite it, or that's plagiarism. You can't just take lines out of the internet, out of the book, and call it your own, because that's exactly what you're going to get in trouble one day if you keep doing that. And I'm just kind of letting you know now that if you're in college, that's a serious offense to not do your own writings. But you can cite as much as you want, though. That's the moral of the story. Like, feel free to take many lines out of the book, as long as you quote them and cite them, and then have your own words after. So you comment, you set it up, and you do it that way, so it's scholarly. So I just want to make that clear on how a historical paper is written, and these are skills you will use for the rest of your life. So let me go back a little bit more. I just want to make sure everyone's up onto where we are at, what I'm expecting of you. And the syllabus, let me just go to the syllabus again, what this assignment is. So we are in the writing assignments. So these are all the topics. Okay, and then we're coming up. Let me talk about the reading response before I move on. So there'll be 5 reading responses. You answer, what is it about? It's also an opportunity to connect to your personal experiences. So when you're doing these essays, if you have some kind of connection to this stuff, I want to hear about it. And you can really make your paper, stand out by using your personal experiences. But you do not have to get an A. I just want to make that clear. So we're coming up on your research paper proposals soon. And that's why it's important to start thinking about now, and about a paragraph or two, what you would like to do your research paper on. If you want to get a good grade in this class, you have to your research paper is 150 points. So the proposal is 20 points. The outline is 50 points. So in total, your research paper is 220 points. So it's the vast majority of your grade. So I would start thinking about it now. When we have easy weeks, there will be, again, I took out a quiz, and I took out a reading response. And the reason why I did that is I want you to focus on your research paper. This is the best thing I can do for you as a professor in college, is build your skills. And one of the ways to do that is learning how to read at a higher level, because what you'll notice is, as you're reading, I read so much. I've read so much. That's really what college is all about. And after all that reading, you eventually, your brain will start to understand how to write better, how to write properly, how to grammatically, do things properly, how spelling, capitalization, and that comes with exposure. So, it's kind of like, this is how I look at it. If you call yourself an athlete, you're going to have to be working out all the time. If you call yourself a student, and if you want to be in education, you're going to be reading all the time. You're going to be writing all the time. So it comes with the territory, but it's the fundamentals that are going to make you succeed in life in anything you do. So say you want to be a football player, a basketball player, all that, by learning the fundamentals and doing it over and over and over and over again, more than the next person, that's how you become better and at the top of your game. So, and that's really what my journey has been. Hold on a second. Okay, anyway, so that's our class today. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I really want everyone to stay on top of things. A lot of folks have been communicating with me, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with fudging the due dates. We are in a worldwide pandemic, and I understand how terrible this is for all of us, including myself. This has been really challenging. So I will always be. I'm always going to be your biggest cheerleader. I'm always going to be hoping for all of you to succeed. But if you're not communicating with me, if you're not, there's nothing I can do. So I need that reciprocity. I need you to understand that I can only do so much if you're not, giving any as well. So it's a give and take, especially in times right now. And I will respond. If I don't get back to you, please email me on my email. So my email is a better way to communicate. The Canvas message board is fine. I kind of check it once a week though. And so it's not the best form of communication. So try my email, please, is preferred. And I get a notification on my phone every time my email gets something in the inbox. Okay, so that's our class today. Please, I'm really interested in your family story. It's going to be awesome to learn about that. And I will see you in a week. Take it easy.